Hi, I'm Jim Clark, President and CEO of Boys and Girls Clubs of America. I'm excited to invite you to a very special event, the Boys and Girls Club of North Mississippi's annual Dance Like the Stars Gala. It's a great time and a great event, and I can speak from experience. Several years ago, I was one of the participants, so I know you're going to enjoy this. It's happening on Saturday, July 19th at 6:30 p.m. at the Cadence Bank Arena. Visit www.bgcnms.org to get your tickets, and we'll see you at Dance Like the Stars.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 5.
Good afternoon. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 5. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lophom. We'll hear from our meteorologist Gabe Maynard coming up here in a couple minutes as we look at your entire work week forecast. And we also have a very special announcement coming up in a couple minutes as well. Hopefully a partnership that will be a long-lived one to help us here on Mississippi Live Weather. This afternoon, though, we've had only a couple little pop-up showers. It's mostly been hot and luckily a little bit dry. Of course, we'll talk about that special news coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Rain chances fairly limited over the course of the next couple of days. We have this kind of ridge of high pressure down in the Gulf, and the position is trying to drag in a little drier air. I know, finally, maybe turn off the rain machine for just a hint. We don't completely eliminate it, but at least limit it somewhat. But definitely emphasis on that hot and muggy weather over the next few days. And hot, the definite way we're looking at this. We'll look at those heat indices and just how far we're pushing it come up here in a couple minutes. But we do have, again, some clouds bubbling up there. We're looking at 91 degrees right now in the Macon area at this instant. It feels like 97. It's sticky out there. Listen, it's July, so it could be a lot worse. And you do have, again, some of those showers kind of popping up there in the background on that camera as we look out this afternoon. Pontotoc, those clouds a lot flatter, less rain chances as far north as Pontotoc. We're 91 degrees as of the latest update, but it still feels like 100. Again, that feels like temperature probably the more important number as far as that is concerned. Checking out a couple of our sky cams, 8 to 10 at this instant. Again, some of those bubbling up, though. That's not a full-fledged storm there, and we'll track that here in just a moment as we look out of some of our cameras. That looking back kind of toward an easterly direction, and then another few of those showers back toward Greenville. They're bubbling up. 100, that feels like temperature. So again, when we're looking at those heat indices around the 100-degree point, that's not quite the heat advisory levels, thankfully, at this instant, but we're going to get there. Just give us a couple more days. So rain coverage still around 10% or so at 6 p.m. Most of those showers gone by 9, though. A couple rogue ones can't be ruled out. We're 79 at 9 p.m., 77 by midnight, and dropping back into the lower to middle 70s by the first part of early morning on your Tuesday. Here's a look at Mississippi Live Weather Radar. Again, not much activity up here in this part of the state. As I widen things out just a little bit, high pressure is largely a story down south. I got to actually change this over here for a moment, and we're going to look at the satellite perspective for just a second, because you can see more effectively, I think, what we have going on. You see, what is happening here, you typically get, winds that are in a clockwise fashion around this high pressure center. So that's what's kind of drawing in winds from the north and west here to a certain extent. That is a direction where things are dry. And so that drier air has eliminated some of the rain that's been so prevalent the last few days and likely keeping us that way as we go forward over the next couple of days. So while we definitely have some rainfall down around the coast, we got this big flare up of storms back there toward locations in Florida, that has to a certain extent limited the amount of thunderstorms we've had up here in the northern part of the state. As we bring it back here to the latest on Mississippi Live Weather Radar, here are some of those little pop-up showers we're looking at, really this cluster there that we have near Columbus, one of the more significant that we have at this time. Let's come in a little closer and look at that in more detail. Again, just rainfall and the lightning strikes, not excessive. You can see there that batch kind of falling apart. Really only a couple lightning strikes at this moment here as that kind of tracks toward the east. So we're looking at that one a little closer to the Columbus area. Let's go ahead and I'm going to swing over here to track it on my computer for just a moment. And as we do, I'm going about 20 miles per hour for the speed of that, if that one can continue to kind of move in that direction. But it's just honest, popped up in the last couple minutes here. So we show Dean Acres about 513. We'll look at New Hope 521 there, Eastwood Hills at 527, and Forest Community about 531. Again, this is just, I think, heavy rainfall and a few lightning strikes. And largely, when you look outside of that across the region, there's not much out there. A couple little pop-ups the last few minutes here in Water Valley, but again, those are relatively limited on our scale. And one out there west of Greenville, that was the one we were looking at just a couple moments ago. So as we look at Futurecast over the next few hours, it also depicts very few showers, as most of us are fairly dry. We'll widen things just a little bit to see the kind of players here. Again, no fronts of significance across the region, so if you're looking to change this out for something that's a little cooler, that's just not going to happen. Overnight, again, dry, as is typically the case, and those thunderstorms have been so prevalent the last few days out in the Arkansas. That definitely continues out that direction into the first part of your Tuesday morning. So over the course of the next 24 hours, again, starting off about 74 to begin the day, we're 83 by 9 a.m., 91 by noon. The more important number is while the temperature comes in 94 as we look toward 3 p.m., it's probably going to feel like it's in excess of 105, and that could put us very near heat advisory levels. We'll look at that in more detail with our meteorologist, Gabe Maynor, here in a couple minutes. So I do want to welcome in a special guest, and you might have seen this below me on the screen here, the Room to Room Weather Center. I want to bring in Miss Lisa Hawkins with Room to Room. And Lisa's involvement in this, you know, we had a discussion way before this was ever advertising, when this was just kind of a dream on how something could happen here. So I just really need to thank you so much for your belief from the very beginning, just in me as a human being, but in what this could become.
You know, I've always been a big fan, of course.
I appreciate
but
that.
I think we have the same culture. Faith, family. You got the weather, I got the home. So we are very blessed to be a part of this. I want to do things that keep our families safe. And I know that that is your initiative and what's most important to you. And we want to be a part of that.
I appreciate that so
really
much.
do.
You know, and you know, I do so much. I think you use family and you talk about family a lot, and I do
Right.
feel like that you've kind of taken me under your wing and believing and kind of leading me. And I just thank you so much for doing that. And I do think that this is an opportunity for us to reach folks.
I do.
Yes, they're going to see your logo from an
Yeah.
advertising perspective, but I mean, reach and help folks in a really true way. And I think it's really cool.
And to be able to help your family too.
Well, thank you.
I think
I
people
appreciate
want
that.
you to stay here,
Well,
be
this
here
is-
for a long time, and we're counting on it. And we'll all support you, Matt.
I appreciate that. Thank you
you.
so much for being willing to do this, and I hope this is something that, you know, helps your business. You know, you're going to see a number of folks advertised here on
You're
Mississippi
right.
Live Weather, and we're going to talk more about all the different ways that go into that. But you know, there's you know, not just the advertising. There's some charitable ways that I think we're excited to announce at some
I
point
think
here in the
we are.
future, as we work to not just obviously build brands, but build the community.
That's exactly right. So thanks for letting us be a part, Matt.
Well, thank you so much for being so willing to help. I really appreciate
Thank
it, Miss
you.
Lisa. You know, check her out on Facebook. Room to Room Tupelo. It's roomtoroom.net that you can get that. You can find you there.
That's
and
right.
you know, and so we're going to be calling this the Room to Room Weather Center, as you can see here. So during severe weather coverage, when you know Gabe or the other meteorologists that we're going to bring on are over here, we're going to be tossing to them over in the Room to Room Weather Center. You know, so I just thank you for helping us. You know,
It's-
be able to afford the technology it takes to keep people safe, because it's not free.
No, it's not.
But with your support and the support of others, you know, it's possible.
Well, thank you for your reputation and your love for the people in this area, because it's going to make a difference. And I know we're going to be able to save lives together.
Absolutely, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lisa Hawkins, Room to Room Tupelo. I appreciate that. We'll have more Mississippi Live Weather come up here in just a couple minutes.
We're not just roofers, we're licensed contractors. Local, trusted, backed by hundreds of five-star reviews from your neighbors.
We don't cut corners, only complete systems with premium warranties. And we keep you informed every step of the way.
We're detailed, thorough, and clean, and we make it affordable. With financing available as low as 0% and same as cash plans. We're not just roofing houses, we're earning trust one neighbor at a time. Call Absolute Restoration.
For more than 100 years, First Choice Bank has provided dedicated community banking to North Mississippi. The banking products and services you need when you need them. At First Choice, you're our priority. Make First Choice your choice for banking.
As a nurse, I've seen a lot of people with sleep deprivation. It affects their job, their home life. At Room to Room, we want to take the guesswork out of buying a mattress, and that's why we brought in this technology. It shows you what you need. We want to do the assessment and find exactly what's perfect for you.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynard.
Thank you for keeping it here at Mississippi Live Weather. And again, a big thank you to Room for just allowing this opportunity to all take place. That was over at the Weather Center. Now we're over here at the wall, walking you through what will be the hot and muggy forecast going forward. Looking at that almanac, I mean, today the high temperatures have only been in the low 90s. And while you may think, well, yes, this is hot, it's miserable, it's right around average for this time of year and definitely far from the record. You're seeing 105 set back in 1980. Rainfall, not had too much impactful rainfall here in the North Mississippi area. Just a few isolated showers across the region. So that rain-cooled air, not seeing too much of it, but definitely seeing that heat. Low to mid 90s across the region. 93 Houston right now, 90 Booneville, Corinth, and Tupelo, and even 93 down around Columbus where they were getting those showers rolling on through. 92 in Macon where they were getting those showers. So showing you that rain-cooled air, not really going to be in the ingredients for today's forecast, but that temperature change, that increase heading into the next couple of days, that's definitely what we're paying attention to. I mean, you take a look where that rain-cooled air took place yesterday evening. Now seeing a 13-degree temperature change. Greenwood, 12 in Belzona, where it was more of a consistent forecast, about a 2 to 3 degree difference. So there's your difference in the forecast depending on certain areas, just showing you a sign of what's to come, that warming trend taking place. And even if it's a degree or two when you're talking mid-90s definitely matters. Our Mississippi Live Weather Radar showing those showers moving across the Alabama state line and far from being anything significant. Definitely a big difference from what it was even about an hour ago. More activity back there towards Yalobusha County, building on the east side of 55 towards Water Valley, dissipating as well. So not seeing anything too impactful rainfall-wise out of that one. Moving more towards Calhoun County here in the next couple of minutes, but that's even a stretch that it reaches Bruce because of just how, or its structure by now, just dissipating on out, that lifespan now wrapping up. Greenville, we saw those showers earlier on one of the North Mississippi Storm Chasers cameras. As that crosses the Mississippi River, could see a few sprinkles move into Cleveland and Shelby along Highway 61 right there, but overall going to remain a drier forecast for all of North Mississippi. The high pressure definitely driving our forecast has kept us dry, and we'll take as much of that as we can get. Satellite showing that same thing. I mean, you look earlier where you were getting some of these bubbling tops over there in Columbus. Now far from that. And that's going to continue to be the case where those showers cycle on through. They build in strength rapidly and then diminish just as rapidly as they head into that lifespan. So it's the same as us. We have a life cycle, well, so do storms. And we're seeing that in full effect right now as a lot of those are dying out. So day planner through the afternoon, 10 to maybe 20% at peak coverage throughout our evening, but that diminishes once that sun sets, and overnight hours staying dry, 79 by 9, 77 closer to midnight. So that active pattern, it seems to be wrapping up and reaching a bit of a lull over the next couple of days, including right now on our Monday afternoon. So there's your showers right there, cycling into Alabama and fizzling on out. And by then, we're staying dry for the extended forecast overnight, 7 p.m. Still not seeing too much activity shower-wise. Could see a brief isolated one there in Yalobusha County, and that's why we're seeing that 10% threat remain. But once that sun sets, that daytime heating isn't there to allow these storms to really build, and that's why we don't see as much coverage once nightfall hits. So 10 p.m., dry conditions across the region, 11, 12, even into the early hours where a lot of us should be asleep, not going to see anything too impactful. So rumbles of thunder not going to wake us up. Not even a steady rainfall going to wake us up either. A lot of those showers remain off there towards Arkansas, and that's where they usually are overnight. As they move into that northeast direction, could see a few of those trickle into DeSoto and Tate County, but not seeing anything too major develop. It would just be a sprinkle or two as you head about your morning commute. This is 5 to 6 a.m., so a lot of folks not even awake just yet. So more than likely those showers wrapping up before a lot of us head out the door. Low temperatures, low 70s. That's right around average for this time of year as well. So that consistent forecast, consistently average forecast is what we're experiencing temperature-wise, at least for our morning lows. But towards the afternoon, that does change just a bit. Take a look at your Tuesday morning. A lot of those showers, like we were talking about, remaining over there towards Arkansas. But as we get towards mid-morning, a few of those trying around the Memphis area to stick around. But even that, just entering an environment that is not as primed for rain development or for storm development, so that's not going to last too long. So by early afternoon, yes, there is the chance of a few isolated showers and storms, but not nearly the coverage that we saw even over the weekend. So just showing you the environment is different. We're not seeing the same atmospheric setup, and that's a good thing if you've wanted drier weather. Now heading into the evening, I know this is populating just a bit more on those showers. This is one of our short-range models just showing that there is still potential for the storms to happen. That's why we're still at 20 to 30% coverage yet again, but those percentages not nearly as high as what we've been seeing. High temperatures tomorrow afternoon, though, with the drier conditions, the give and take forecast is definitely going to give us the heat as it takes away that rainfall. Mid-90s across the region with heat indices basically triple digits across the entire region, with the Mississippi Delta being highlighted as the hottest and muggiest region per usual. It's just usually warmer and muggier there with the moisture in the air around the Mississippi Delta. But 106 definitely possible for a lot of locations, and that's right above that heat advisory threshold. So go ahead and prepare, stay hydrated and stay cool as we are dealing with that extreme heat for our Tuesday afternoon. Beyond that, not seeing anything activity-wise for rainfall, so we're staying dry once again into the overnight hours, Tuesday by 10 p.m. and even into our overnight period. Just staying drier with a few clouds along the Golden Triangle, moving up Highway 45, but primarily going to stay east there into Alabama, where the bulk of the moisture is. Now, heading into our Wednesday, you might see a few isolated showers pick up by the early to mid-afternoon. What this is really dependent on is some tropical development that we'll talk more about coming up tonight on Mississippi Live Weather at 6, with the positioning of our next invest down in the Gulf. That'll bring in a lot of the moisture, but where it moves will be dependent on how much moisture we see here in North Mississippi. Yes, there will be moisture, but the positioning of that matters for getting all the way up here in our area. So by 6 p.m., we are still seeing those showers, but back in Alabama, seeing the bulk of those showers because of that low pressure center remaining around that general area. But there you see a few of those showers trying to get into southern parts of Mississippi. South of Highway 82 is really where we have those showers remaining, but we are still several days out, and that forecast does change, especially with anything tropical development-wise. So make sure to tune in tonight at 6 and 10 as we fine-tune that forecast just a bit more, as we are still about 48 hours out from that happening. So Wednesday, we can guarantee it's going to be hot and muggy. You're seeing 97 in several locations, and these heat indices just continue to climb. I mean, my word, 109 Clarksdale, Tunica, 107 Cleveland and Greenwood. It is going to be heat advisory across North Mississippi, basically, just because of how hot it's going to get. But luckily, beyond that point, we get a little bit of a cooling trend, wrapping up in the low 90s. We'll take what we can get, guys. Saturday, 92, 93 there for Sunday, but the heat indices continuing to show that it's going to be muggy just as much as it is hot. Wednesday around that 110 range, we're talking about 109 there in Tunica. Well, there you go. You see it right there. But cooling off just a bit, and especially by Monday next week. Yes, that means probably some lifted rain chances in our area, but we're going to be back down around upper 90s to 100, so there is some relief in the future. It's just a bit of a ways away. Looking at those rain chances, still very isolated, but again, we are looking at that Wednesday, Thursday time frame for that tropical development, just how it'll impact our forecast. If it stays a little bit more east, we're not seeing that much rainfall here in North Mississippi. And that's a blessing. We've had enough rainfall, guys. But heading into the weekend, though, those rain chances really start to pick back up. So don't let that rain gear get too far away from you. Just have ways of staying dry over the next 7 days, a similar thing we've been saying. And of course, have ways of staying cool and staying hydrated as we battle this heat and we battle these isolated showers and storms. And one of the ways to do so is actually with the Mississippi Live Weather app. You can download it on iOS and Android today. Scan the QR code on your screen, take you directly to the App Store. You can download it on your mobile device and Roku. Still getting updates on other streaming services, trying to get those in working order, but we're trying to get as many accessible ways as we can get for you guys to get the latest weather information and, of course, stay safe. We'll be back on here in 43 minutes on Mississippi Live Weather at 6, so make sure to keep it here for the very latest. And we'll be walking you through all things tropics and how that'll impact our forecast going forward. So we'll see you here in a couple of minutes.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lawpon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lawpon has proven himself trustworthy.